Welcome back, outdoors fans, and Happy New Year. Today we're going to talk about one of those things I hate doing when I'm outdoors, and that's working on my truck. And I had a slight leak. For those of you that don't know, I have a 2013 F150, and this particular part right here, vacuum pump for the 2013 F150s, for some reason helped in providing vacuum for the brakes. It is manually driven, a cam, as you can see right here. That's on, for some reason, unfortunately, on the back side of the engine next to the firewall with very little room to work with. What I'm going to talk about today is tips and tricks. And I'm sure there are other videos on YouTube that show you how to do this, but these are the tips that I use to help me get through these particular hurdles. One of them, because I've done this twice already, the common leak occurs right here on the gasket. These get old, and once you hit about 100,000 miles, you expect to start seeing leaks. And usually you'll start seeing leaks right around, you can see some before I leaked. There's the turbo, and puts on some light here. You can see this right here is the part we just replaced, and you can remove these tabs, and there's other videos on the net to show you how to do it. But 3 screws, one right here and one on the bottom and one further towards the firewall. You can't see it, but I was able to get a torque wrench in. It's a Harbor Freight torque wrench right here, 89 inch-pounds. I have it set already. It's kg. Right there, at about 89. I use this Permatex Ultra Black maximum oil resistance gasket maker and put it on. This is the old one, but I cleaned this up. I put the sort of a 1/4 inch width of the gasket maker from the entire bottom. This right here, this section right here, is where you will see the leak is usually common. Let's see if I can get a close up of that. Right around here. Section right here. You see that gap? That is where it will generally leak, right around here too, where this tab is. And then I just put sealant all around the bottom. All around the bottom. And the other thing to note that made this installation very helpful was to remove the front wheel. Now, some suggest doing it from the top of the engine bay, but let me show you what that's going to look like, because I've tried it. You try to do it from the top of the engine bay, you've got to stick your hands all the way back, you know, probably about, I don't know, maybe a diameter length of my hand. And the problem I have is that I have very difficult time seeing, and when you put in, you have basically 10 minutes after you put the sealant on. It even says in the Ford service manual you have 10 minutes for this thing, a window. If you do it after that, there's a high probability that a leak will occur from the gasket, and from this effort I put into it, I do not want to do this twice. 10 minutes, and by removing the front wheel and the wheel liner itself under here, it's not that difficult to remove. I had access to the vacuum pump on the back, and it made it a lot easier. So right here. And the other thing too is, if you have time, you're going to need 24 hours for this to cure, and it's about 39 degrees right here where I live today. Luckily I was able to put this heater on for a couple of hours to help. I don't know how much it really helped, but on top of that, you know, those hot hands. I stuck a hot hands. Let me see if I can grab that. Got one of these and shove them right around here to provide a little heat, you know, to help heat this up a little bit more. You could probably use a heat gun to accelerate the drying process of the Permatex sealant, and from there help cure the sealant. So with that being said, on top of getting the parts and all that, other tools that I found useful, you're going to need this 8mm socket, and I found this one to be quite helpful. These kinds with a swiveling head. The brand of this one I think is Tecton. Yeah, I got them on Amazon a year or so, but these are very helpful in tight spots. And then of course you have these traditional kind of sockets that also help as well, but it doesn't have the swiveling head. I had to use a 5 1/16 though to be able, the other brand that I have, the Sears Craftsman, didn't go down to 8mm, so I had to use a 5/16. Worked just as good, but the primary one that I used was this. This really helped a lot. The other thing to note is when you tighten these up, this is 89 inch-pounds, and I was able to get this in the back. It's tight, but because of the access to the wheel well, I'm able to fit this in right where the bolts are. It fit in no problem to all three. So with that being said, I was able to get 89, and of course the method that you put this in would be like this one. First, tighten this down, secondly, and then this one lastly. So 1, 2, 3. And that was pretty much it. And also, oh, by the way, the mirrors made a big difference. I used these. These are very helpful. I think it was my daughter's pocket mirrors, but it helps to have one with a handle. Maybe one, you could probably tape them with masking tape inside to help you see the back of the engine to align this, because the last thing you don't want to happen is getting these dirty right here where the oil tube is. The oil is sucked in through this tube. There's a tiny screen right here, and if you were to get silicone sealant on that, that would not be a good thing. So what you want to do is when you have those mirrors, it'll help guide you and align this thing here, it turns into the back of the engine. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this will help you on your way. Oh, forgot one thing. You got to scrape off the old sealant with this. Use a razor blade. Make sure it's clean. Wipe it down with brake cleaner on the edges of where the engine is and such, so the sealant will or gasket maker will stick much more better, and you'll have a sort of a higher reliability. Your odds of it ever leaking again will probably go higher. So with that, hopefully that helps you on your quest of replacing this. And I would say if you're starting to see leaks, it's probably from that location from here versus on the engine cover itself on the top. Likelihood this is a common issue. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and y'all have a great day.